Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Turn the Paige Podcast. I am Paige, your host, and I'm so excited to be with you today and just chit chat because I feel like I have been in this season of life where every single day is a new epiphany. And I feel grateful for that and also utterly exhausted by it. Things have changed so rapidly in my life over the last 6 months, and so much of it is pushing me into a new chapter, a new beginning, asking me to evolve and really step into a new timeline of my life that is full of so much good, that is full of so much fulfillment. Like I feel that coming. But at the same time, I'm still in the space of the in between, of fully letting go of what is no longer serving me, closing out all of these old patterns that I don't need to take with me anymore, understanding things about myself that have held me back and kept me small, while at the same time not being fully ready to step into what is new and what is to come. And that's mainly because like the timing hasn't fully aligned yet. I'm still getting things ready for the salon. I'm finishing up what will be my last week at the place that I've worked for the last 11 years. And I'm busy with the holidays and my kids being involved and just stuff going on because that is life. There is always stuff going on. And I was feeling really good and grounded about all of it and all of the change and really feeling like I was taking it on in such a graceful manner. Well, I'm going to be honest. Over the last few days, the overwhelm has started to really get loud. And for many reasons. Again, a busy schedule. I'm like hemorrhaging money, I feel like, into this new project and for Christmas. It's all leading me to really good things, but right now in the moment, it feels uncomfortable. And so what happens when we feel uncomfortable? We try to push past it or we try to avoid it. I try to push past it so that I can avoid it, if you catch my drift. So I have been making lists, checking them off, and going on to the next thing. Like, what's the next thing I need to do? What's the next thing that I need to buy? What's the next thing that I need to prepare for? And as I have been doing that, I've been feeling myself do that over the last few days. It's pulled me out of being present with my kids, with myself, with my work. And it's really kept me in this anxious loop because I'm not focused on what is now. I am focused on what is to come and what I need to do. And, you know, not really trusting the process, but trying to push the process along further. And I think that that's something that's really relatable. I think that that's something that so many of us find ourselves doing when we are in a season of change and when we find ourselves in discomfort because the things are piling up and piling up and piling up, rather than taking a step back and getting some perspective, viewing the list of to-dos that, is endless, and understanding that it all doesn't have to get done at once. Trusting and praying to God that what is meant to get accomplished today will in fact get accomplished. I will have the energy for it, the stamina for it, the focus for it, and it is all going to work out. Now, that is hard. That's hard to practice because if you're anything like me, I'm the kind of person that's like, oh no, get out of the way. I know how to get the job done. I'm going to get it done and I'm going to make it happen. And it doesn't mean that the same result isn't going to come into fruition. But what it means is that I don't necessarily get to enjoy the process. I don't necessarily get to enjoy my life while I'm pushing and forcing and working. when in reality, most of the time, the same amount of things are going to get done and get accomplished, but maybe not in such a harsh way. Maybe not in a way that exhausts me entirely. We can move in the flow with life instead of forcing it so that we can enjoy the journey instead of just trying to push ourselves to the destination. Because then once we get to the destination, sometimes when we're doing that, it's like we don't even stop to really appreciate that. We're just on to the next thing. And what I have really set the intention for in this process and in this season of my life is to enjoy it and to be intentional with it. And so I had this little realization this morning that it was like, girl, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. I pulled some oracle cards and they were both about resting, rejuvenating, being present. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm going to take an entire week of not doing anything, but it did remind me that it's okay for me to sit back and focus on what is the priority right now in this moment. I don't have to get it all done right away. And I don't have to control every little detail as it comes because control is such an easy way for us to feel safe. That's why we control things. That's why we try to manipulate life and manipulate people, is so that we can keep ourselves comfortable, so that we can feel safe in the world and accepted. And like, as if we have purpose, as if we matter. And I had to remind myself with all of this, like, hey, you still matter even if you're not getting this all accomplished right at this exact moment. Because my intuition was like, if you keep pushing and forcing yourself, if you keep chugging along at this pace, you're going to burn out and you're going to end up sick, grouchy, most likely sick. Your body's going to physically shut down. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to decide to listen. I'm going to listen to my intuition. I'm going to allow and take the opportunities as they are presented. I went to the salon this morning and got no-showed by a highlight. And rather than, I felt frustrated at first, but I moved past that frustration, allowed myself to feel it. Okay, I'm frustrated. That sucks. But you know what? This is opening up space for me to sit down and record the podcast for the week. So I'm going to shift my perspective and allow myself to move in flow with what is happening currently in this moment instead of pushing myself to, cling to what I thought my day should look like. And I think that maybe if I hadn't had this epiphany, if I hadn't sat down at my altar this morning and pulled some cards and journaled and really was just present with myself, maybe I wouldn't have felt that way. Maybe I would have just thrown a pity party for myself and been like, this freaking sucks. And A, B, C, or D is the reasons why. This is a time of year that can be so overwhelming for all of us. It's busy and we have a lot of obligations and responsibilities and things that are coming up that aren't in our standard day-to-day lives. We're spending a lot of money, whether it's on food or Secret Santa gifts for our kids' student council or birthday parties or holiday gifts, holiday parties. All of the things start to add up. And again, I think what happens is we start to feel uncomfortable, we start to feel stressed, we start to feel overwhelmed, and we just want to rush through them, or we want to avoid them completely. So what can we do to try and find some joy at this time of the year? I think that that's searching for presence. I think that that's being really intentional with our time, mentally, emotionally, and physically, so that we can tune into what it is that we need. When we are being called to rest, we give that to ourselves. It doesn't have to be for a whole week. It can just be for maybe a few hours. It can maybe just be like, hey, I'm going to go to bed a little bit early tonight. I'm not going to doom scroll on my phone or watch Netflix. Maybe I'm going to pick up my favorite book or call one of my friends to just vent and, get out some of this pent up energy that is bubbling inside of me. We don't have to fully crash into the wall before we give ourselves the opportunity to pause. And I think that we get so used to hitting the wall and then getting sick, getting a headache, getting having a blow up with our partner, whatever it is that stops us in our tracks. When in all reality, it's like, man, if I would have taken a beat like 2 days ago, maybe I wouldn't have gotten here. And that's not to say that that's the end, like the fix it for everything. But I think it just can be kind of the fix it for so many of the things that keep us trapped and stagnant and repeating these same cycles over and over and over again. And so if you find yourself like super overwhelmed at this time of the year, if you find yourself irritable or avoidant and slipping into survival mode, this is just a reminder that you can give yourself permission to give you what you need so that you can enjoy each day and so that you can be intentional about how you spend it and who you spend it with. Oh, gosh, I am such a I'm such a fix it kind of person. I'm such a hyper independent person. And those are things that I've been working on. Those are things that patterns I've been trying to untangle and unwire so that I can receive, and not just from other people, but from God and from the universe. Allow things to be easeful. Ask for it. Set the intention or the affirmation or the prayer and just sit back and watch. Trust that it will work out. Trust that you will accomplish all of the things that are meant to be accomplished. Trust that the money that you desire or that you need for these things that you are trying to do will appear. Take a bird's eye view and allow it to unfold. This is a reminder to you as much as it is a reminder to me. These days are precious. And if we fast forward through them, I mean, I know I have fast forwarded through a handful of days in the last week, and I get to the end of them and I feel it. I feel it because I ask myself, like, man, how did today feel? And it's like so many little things come up, like, oh, I wish I would have been more present with Presley while we were having this conversation. Oh, I wish I would have sat down and watched Macy play volleyball on the Nintendo because she gets so invested in it. It doesn't have to be big things, but it's like these little things that I find myself fast forwarding through when I'm in a state of overwhelm. And it's going to happen. But the beauty is now we get to have the self awareness around it so that we can course correct, so that we can come back into alignment, so that we can really put our feet on the ground and be where they are instead of being anxious about what is to come, being fearful about all of the things we didn't accomplish. It's not going to actually serve us, and it's not actually going to create more time in our day. It's going to exhaust us that much faster. So, that is really all I have for you today, to be honest. It was just like a quick-winded pep talk and permission for you to take time to do what you need to do so that you can fill your cup, so that you can check yourself before you wreck yourself straight into that happy holiday wall. It's something that's so common. You're not alone in those feelings. I'm right there with you. And so as we navigate this time, like I said, rest, plan a girls' night in, have a phone conversation with someone that makes you laugh or that you know that you can vent to and it's a safe space. Sit aside the to-do list for just an hour and let yourself just take a bath, read a book, stare outside into the bleak, cold winter. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That might make you more sad. But yeah, I think that we are all trying to learn how to exist in this crazy, fast paced world. But it's up to us and it's up to our ability to attain self awareness and choose to be intentional with our actions that really changes the trajectory of our lives, the enjoyment of it, the appreciation of it. So find your little corner of gratitude and allow yourself to sit in it. Wash away the overwhelm. It's all going to get accomplished. It's all going to get done. It's all still going to be there in the morning if you need a minute to just be. I love you guys. I hope the holiday season is treating you so well. And I hope that you resonated with this message and you take something from this. And it really helps to brighten your day, your weekend, the next few weeks. I love you all. I appreciate you. Please, as I am still away from social media, I would still love for you to come and follow me at Turn the Paige Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok so that in the new year, when I jump back on socials, we can connect. All right. Bye-bye.